great statement. Again, I want to read you what Paul Murtha has to write about this piece, because he says it absolutely better than I could. It says that this is a tribute to the generations of American servicemen and women buried at the Arlington National Cemetery. Their selfless service and sacrifice in the defense of our country and way of life has made them all giants in the composer's mind as they find their eternal rest in Arlington. Here's a little bit about the piece. You can pick out a couple of these things as you listen to it. The opening statement, Memorial Gate, paints a musical portrait of the cemetery. When you hear it, when you see it, you are struck by its simple beauty and the sheer weight of what it represents. The offstage trumpet statements represent the sound of bugles, which are heard there daily, answered by the snare drum and the timpani. Arlington is a quiet, peaceful garden, and it's a place for reflection. One of the most moving sights you'll see is when thousands of American flags have been placed before the gravestones prior to Memorial Day each year. Seeing this always brings to mind the familiar song, My Country 'Tis of Thee, and the lyric, Sweet Land of Liberty, which is at the core of the service and sacrifice of these men and women. Often you can hear one of our nation's military bands in procession playing the proud, powerful hymn, God of Our Fathers. Some call it our national hymn, and when the composer hears it in that setting, it reminds him of the courage, strength, and sacrifices of the giants that lie sleeping at Arlington. So listen for those hymns here and there. Put yourself in that place. You'll hear the offstage trumpets, and this is definitely a special journey for sure. We hope you enjoy Paul Murtha's Arlington, where giants lie sleeping. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, so like Janet mentioned at the beginning,